how you can quickly create a bar graph out of some data that you've collected by putting it in Excel. I'm using the online version of Excel. This is easy for your students to use and you. All I did was I typed in favorite subject, number of students. It was a quick poll I did with some, let's say, 5th grade students here. I'm not wasting time with formatting my data table to make it look nice. I'm not centering, we are just going bare minimum, put the information in. Okay, I could even, let's say I just don't even do that part. I just literally write that much. I am going to highlight over what I want. I'm going to come over here to insert. Now, when we look at charts, I'm just going to pull up so you can see all of them. It has a bunch of different charts. Technically, they say this is a bar graph. I prefer a column because that's what, as a science teacher, I see most of students using. So we're going to just go ahead and choose that. So it starts this here, even without any identifying factors, it creates the chart graph. If we look here, if I think it's wrong, I can say switch. That looks more like what I want, because if we notice this way, it thinks that they're all the same thing. But when I say switch rows and columns, so even if your students mess up how they set up their table, have them check this switch row and columns and see, does this look like it fits better? Now that I have what I think I want to use, I'm going to start going through and editing. So edit chart title, favorite subject, remember we capitalize, of 5th grade students. We capitalize everything in the title. Okay, and it changes my title right there. Axes, let's add some titles. So these are going to be the subjects right here. Okay, and then we're going to, let's see, we want to look at horizontal, and these are going to be the number of students. Okay, we're going to say okay. I know my chart looks a little strange right now, but we are going to make it. We got this, we got this. Legend, instead of it being at the bottom there, I want to show it on the right. Okay, so now we've got all of our things showing there. Data labels, I can choose if I think my people might have trouble reading. I can add them there so it's easy for you to see the exact number if I think it might be a challenge. I could add a data table, but I don't want to. Horizontal, I can add my axes if I want. I can show axes in the default instead. Same thing, I can come down here to vertical, show it in default. Let's see, show in all those options. Formatting. Okay, let me scroll over so you can still see it. If I don't like the colors, so my math series, if I don't like the colors, I can change, let's say I'd rather it be purple. It can change, there we go, and it changes right to purple. My vertical axes, I can change, so instead of it being by 2, I want my major units to be 1. And then you'll see, okay, now I've got those extra lines, and maybe I want to go to 0.5. It will change, gets really tight, so maybe I go back to 1, okay, as well. Same thing if I want to change any of the colors, major grid lines, I can change the color outline. So let's say I want it to be a darker gray. Can you see it? Say, okay. We can also change our formatting for there. Same thing with our legend. We want it as an overlay or whatnot as well. So those formatting, if I come back in here to my chart again, these 3 little dots, just looking, do I want grid lines? So we've got major grid lines showing. What does that look like? Okay, let's try if I do major and minor. Now you got these tiny little grid lines showing. Or if I go back and say no grid lines, now you see one without. This table, this graph based on this table is now ready to go. I can resize it, make it bigger, smaller, and I can copy and paste it into a Word document or PowerPoint, and it's ready to be used.